Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is my review for the Black Panther movie. Man, this movie was amazing! Wow, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Excuse me. I am just excited to talk about this movie because it really is very groundbreaking, not just for the black community, but for America and Hollywood. I mean, this movie had a budget of $200 million, and it's grossed over $1.183 billion. That is, that's like on another level. This movie literally is changing the face of Hollywood, and I love it because it's really changing the face of what it means to be black. It's changing the face of how we see ourselves, so it's not only, changing, the image, but also changing the state of mind, that we are black people are greater than what we think, and we can accomplish more than what we have, that there's no limits to our greatness as a people. And I really got that message through this movie. And, shout out to Ryan Coogler, who was the director and also one of the writers. He did a phenomenal job with this because this movie, the cinematography was amazing, the action was amazing, the costumes. Shout out to Ruth Carter. We definitely know her for her work from Malcolm X and What's Love Got to Do with It. She's like the Black Edith Mead, and I seriously hope she wins an Academy Award for this because the costumes in this movie were out of this world, and it was just beautiful. Like the scene where T'Chaka, aka the Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman, is about to be crowned, and you have all of the different tribes that are on the rocks. Pretty much it's like there's a waterfall, and the tribe, all the different tribes are on the rocks, on different levels. And that was just beautiful as far as cinematography. You really saw all of these different tribes, different natives, different languages. And it was mind-blowing to me because it really shows that all black people are not the same. We're not all thugs. We're not all drug dealers. We're not all, nannies and all of these negative stereotypes that they have constantly put out there for the past 50 or so years. We're people of many different we're people of many different ideologies and character and also culture. There are many cultures within black culture, and this movie was also like kind of showcased that, of all the different tribes, but they all come together and they all make up the country of Wakanda, and it was just phenomenal. And also, yes, so definitely, I have to say, Chadwick Boseman did a phenomenal job playing Black Panther. I have to say that he is a phenomenal actor, and I definitely love seeing him in this movie. And I definitely love, seeing, I definitely love seeing like a black action hero who's not only fighting for the greater good of his family, but he's also fighting for the greater good of his people. So to see a positive black character take the lead, and that was everything. And then the arch nemesis, who was actually played by Michael B. Jordan, Eric Killmonger, aka Njadaka, his role was so perplexed, and I have to say Michael B. Jordan played the hell out of that role. I have to say it's probably one of his best works to date, in my opinion. I mean, loved him in Creed, loved him in, Wrightsville Station, but we definitely see his advancement as an actor in this. I mean, because you really see how not dealing with your issues, or better yet, when you're neglected or abandoned, you tend to develop such a hard heart and such anger and such rage that it can take you to places that you really don't want to go. And we kind of saw that with this character, and it was just out of this world, and we definitely see that inside there is still a wounded child, but now he's a man, and even though he's very powerful physically, he has a lot of authority, and he's pretty much, somebody to be feared, but we see inside that he's still just a wounded little boy. So to really get my narrative on that, you actually have to watch the movie, because I don't want to give everything away to you, but just give you a sense of, of how these characters spoke to me. Now, the role of Lupita Nyong'o, her role was Nakia. Her role was so amazing. She did a phenomenal job in this as well. I definitely loved her and Chadwick Boseman's scenes together. They looked really good together, and their chemistry is just so evident, and they're very close off screen too. So it was great seeing the two of them interact. And her role is like she's kind of like a secret spy, and she actually helps people. She helps the disenfranchised, and she's very good at what she does. She's very sharp, but also she's the love interest of T'Chaka, who becomes the Black Panther. And the funny thing about it that the head of the special forces, the Doma Milaje, Okoye, who's actually played by Denai Guerrera, she is such a phenomenal talent. I definitely love her in the role of Michonne on The Walking Dead, but in this role, she was everything. I mean, she was general, she was CIA, special ops, she was all of it, and she was the head of this special, special forces of Wakanda called the Doma Milaje, and they're all female. So women empowerment, they were all beautiful, they all have shaved heads, and they will fight to the death. And seeing her being very, being pretty much, also one of the chief advisors, to Black Panther, seeing her in that role was everything, because when she lets him know that we're about to, run into Nakia, she tells him not to freeze, but he ends up freezing. As soon as he sees her, it's like, hi. That part had me dying. It was so cute. Oh my God, that joke was so hilarious. And also, let's see, Daniel Kaluuya, he played the role of W'Kabi. Shout out to him as well, on his Oscar nomination for Get Out. He did a phenomenal job in that movie. And he also did a phenomenal job in this movie as well as that character, because, we have those kind of characters that are not solid, and they're easy to be persuaded. And that definitely was true about that character. Now, one of my favorite characters also in this movie was the role of Shuri, that was played by Letitia Wright. She was so hilarious, so sharp, and was so intelligent. This girl was like a master of technology. There was a scene where the head of the CIA, he gets injured in an attack, and they bring him, the Black Panther brings him, to her lab to get aid, and she's just like, oh yes, another white man we get to fix. I was hollering in the theater. I was like, yes! Oh my God, that gave me so much life. I thought that was so funny. And she was just funny throughout the movie. And Angela Bassett played Ramonda, who was Black Panther's mother as well as Shuri's mom. She looked so beautiful, especially when she had those white dreadlocks. Oh my God! Like Angela Bassett, she ages like vintage wine. She is such a beautiful woman and such a phenomenal actress. And seeing her in the role of the mother was everything, and she really brought it. She did a phenomenal job. You know, I'm definitely rooting she gets a best supporting actress nomination because she definitely did her thing. And also but then there was like a scene where T'Chaka is becoming the king of Wakanda due to the death of his father, and he's becoming king, and there's this ceremony where they're on the waterfall and all the tribes are on these rocks, and since he's about to become king, anybody can come and challenge him from the throne. And if they overthrow him, then they can become king of Wakanda. So, in that scene was real funny because he was asking who, because also the role of Zuri, who was played by Forrest Whitaker, he's like the elder statesman of Wakanda. He's asking all the different tribes, and they're all saying no. And it gets to a point where Shuri is just funny. She's like, okay, no one's gonna actually jump up and say anything. Can we just go home now, please? And like, Ramonda's like, girl, shut up. Like, she was just hilarious. Like, Shuri's character was funny throughout the whole movie. And she was really smart, and she was always challenging her brother like little sisters do. So, it was great seeing that. But yes, so yeah, and the one that actually ends up challenging him is the role of Umbadu, and that's played by Winston. I think his name is Winston Love, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, correct me. Yeah, Winston Duke. I'm sorry. Yes, and shout out to my sister Kayla from Rambling Reviews. That's her dude, and I can see why, because he has such a phenomenal character because he's very barbaric, like barbaric, like to the T. But yet, the good thing about that character, he was also an honorable person. He wasn't a person that held grudges or was mean spirited. He definitely was barbaric. Like, he'll fuck you up. Like, that was kind of the character that he was. Like, he's quick to jump and beat somebody's ass. Because he was the person that wanted to challenge Black Panther for the throne. To be king of Wakanda. And he has his own tribe. But I like his character because his character was very honorable. And when you see him in the movie, you really see how much of an honorable person he really is, even though he's barbaric and, is crazy. Because his character was definitely hilarious. But yeah, that's my girl Kayla's man. Winston Duke is her dude, and she done. I'm like, hey, I had to shout out my sister because she loves her some Winston Duke. So I definitely had to mention him in this review because I loved his character. He was barbaric, was the type of person that's quick to whoop your ass, but yet he was honorable, and he definitely had codes of conduct in how he conducted himself. So that is commendable. So throughout this movie, the cinematography, pretty much the preface of the movie is that pretty much Wakanda is pretty much a secret country within the continent of Africa, and it's the most highly developed country. They have the best technology, the best scientists, the best infrastructure, the best architecture. Wakanda is beautiful. Just a beautiful landscape all around. And one of their biggest power is vibranium, which is one of the toughest metals in the world. They use it to build their technology, to build their weapons, to pretty much build their armed forces. But that kind of power in the wrong hands could literally end world civilization. So pretty much, Wakanda's greatest wealth and greatest power has, they pretty much kept it hidden. So while the rest of the world thinks that Africa is this impoverished nation, they're actually the richest nation in the world. Yeah, catch that. So pretty much, throughout the movie, the role of Black Panther, since he's now become king after the death of his father, which had a story of its own, and everything ties together, it's like, wow. And it really goes to show that at the end of the day, if you don't look out for family, and if you don't actually, if you're not careful, you could be planting seeds that the next generation can be affected, can get the effects. Where something you do right now can actually, come back on your future generation. And we literally saw this happen with the story of Black Panther and involving, Black Panther's father. And that was, a shift that where Black Panther realized that no, we have to be a nation that actually supports the people and is for the people, and we can no longer, make decisions that are going to actually be detrimental to us later. And when he comes to that realization, that's when we see Black Panther has a new form of strength, not just physically, but morally. And that is what helps him to defeat his enemies, and that's what makes Black Panther, the hero that he is. So yes, this movie was amazing. I enjoyed every bit of it. Again, let me shout out to some very special people who told me about this film. My best friend, Kenneth Tukes of the K-Tukes Spot. I love you, brother. He definitely told me that I was going to enjoy this movie, and you were not lying. And also, definitely that Michael B. Jordan scene that you were talking about was really funny. Yes, I laughed my ass off. You were right. Also, let me shout out again my girl Kayla from Rambling Reviews. My YouTube sister. Yes, I see why you was on Winston Duke. Because Winston Duke, yes, not only did he play a good role, but then baby solid. So I understand, girl. I don't blame you. So yeah, shout out to her. Also, let me shout out my boy, Kamario. He also told me that this movie was great as well. Also, let me shout out James Caldwell, The Jedi, Random TV Reviews, Lynette and Stanley, love you guys. They did a great review of this, and so did James Caldwell, so definitely check theirs out, and so did my sister Kayla, and yeah, so definitely, check out their reviews of this film, and also, like, I just really enjoyed this movie, but the one thing that really touched me was the thing that touched me the most was not really the movie itself. I mean, the movie got me, definitely. I was locked in. But what got me was what happened after the movie. Because I actually, went to the movie with my mom, and after the movie, she had to go to the bathroom, so I was in the hall. I was pretty much in the hall, waiting for her to come out. And there was like this little boy. He had to be like around 7 or 8 years old, and he was in the same movie theater as me, so he was looking, and he just kind of looked at me and smiled, and he just kind of looked up at me and was like, Wakanda. That touched me on so many levels, and I was like, so I started talking to him. I was like, so you enjoyed the movie? And he's like, yeah, this movie was awesome. I was like, yeah, man, I can't wait to talk about it on YouTube. So yeah, shout out to him. I never got his name, but I think he definitely lives in my area. But yeah, that moment I think touched me more when I saw him do that, because I'm saying now these young black boys can see themselves in a positive light, and that to me is one of the greatest gifts to ever witness. more than money or fame is that that now the young can have a better view of who they are and what not only for who they are, but where they come from and what they can become. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. So yes, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. I'm sorry, I just got so touched that I'm just stumbling over my words. Forgive me, y'all. Let me start over. Okay, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms, and also check out my business website. I'm a senior associate with Legal Shield and ID Shield. I'm helping, to get people signed up for 24/7 legal coverage as well as protection from identity theft. Check out my website that's in the description box, and you can reach out to me on any of my social platforms if you want more information. And I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. This was a phenomenal movie. I encourage you to watch it. I can't wait till it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, because I'm definitely going to cop this and make it a part of my collection, hands down. So that's what I have. So until next time, everybody, take care.